Soumya, good evening. Okay, I will discuss question number 2. 20 markers first discuss Korea. Question number 2A. Question number 2A. Although the revolt of 1857 failed, it gave a severe blow to the British administration in India. In this context, discuss how the structure and policies of the British re-established and changed post 1857. So question is dita part achi. Gote part achi. Although the revolt of 1857 failed, so you just start the introduction with the revolt of 1857 failed because of just write 2 to 3 reasons why it is failed. Okay, why it was failed. Then in the next line you can write that what it uh, impacted or it affected. It had a long lasting effect on the British policies that followed post 1857. So what were the changes? The main core part hoji what are the changes सेटा होची main core part of the answer. But initially तुमको लिखिया पड़ियो कि what are the causes of the failure of revolt of 1857 लिखिले better. Introduction like 1857 विषय describe करे अपेक्षा better you write that revolt of 1857 failed because of this, but it had a long lasting impact on the British policies in the years followed. Okay, so then changes. In changes, you can discuss the answer, you can write the answer under various headings. First, what are the changes in the provincial administration in India? Then first in the what are the administration of India? Then second, changes in the provincial administration. Then third, the changes that are affected to the princely states. Okay, then next is the what are the changes in the public services, then changes in the army, then changes towards the social reformers or socio-religious aspects. ठीक ଅଛି, and then you can write the changes that were brought in the local bodies, governance of the local bodies. एतिकी heading रे तुमको changes describe କରିବାକୁ पड़ो. ठीक ଅଛି, काहेकि ना 250 markers अछि माने you have to write every aspect of the change that were there after 1857. Okay, so administrative changes overall India रे कौन change हला after the government of India Act 1858. You all know that the governance of India transferred to the British Crown. Point number 1. Point 2. आगुरु जो system थिला कि directors of the company किंबा boards of control they were all abolished and a secretary of state was appointed. ठीक अछि, the secretary of state was appointed as the representative of the British Crown in India. ठीक अछि, the Britain it was transferred to the crown, the administration of India. Second, appointment of the secretary of the state, and then governor general level le कौन change हला जे governor general correct executive council level, there would be an executive council of the governor general, and executive council जो माने member रहिबे हाँ वाइस रॉय, तो जो जो माने मेंबर रहिबे सेमानकर जो मेंबर रहिबे सेमाने डिफरेंट हेड्स ऑफ द डिपार्टमेंट को संभाळिबे. ठीक अछि, तो दीज आर द चेंजेस. टॉप लेवल ले कोन चेंज हला, लेवल ऑफ द सेक्रेटरी ऑफ स्टेट, लेवल ऑफ द वाइस रॉय. ठीक अछि, तो एतिकी चेंजेस हला एट द टॉप लेवल ऑफ द एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन. देन अबाउट द प्रोविंशियल एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन. ठीक अछि, तो प्रोविंशियल एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन ने कोन हला कि इट माने legislative council created similar to that of center. Center जेमती legislative council create हेतला, provincial system रे भी सेमती legislative council create हेला. तो आउ कितना important जिनिस हला कि माने provincial administration रे under Lord Mayo, under Lord Mayo there are some amounts allocated to certain services like police, jail, education, etc. ठीक अछि, एटा ଗୋଟେ point. Next, under 1877 in law, what Lord Lytton did was it transfer certain subjects. से कितना subject को transfer कर देले provinces को, like your land, revenue, excise, all these subjects were transferred to the provincial level. ठीक अछि, तो these were the changes at the provincial level. दीटा तीनटा point maximum sufficient, खाली one line लिखियार अछि, आउ किछ लिखियार नै heading रे, detailed description भी करियार नै. Then changes at the local level कौन है, creation of municipalities and district boards. कहीं ना इटा गोटे बहुत इंपोर्टेंट जिनिस, few of the candidates have left it, वो छाड़ी दी आंसर रे कि लोकल गवर्नमेंट रो चेंजेस जो होई छे 1858 रे subject transfer to the provinces ঠিক আছে ट्रांसपोर्ट provinces province लॉर्ड लिटल ट्रांसफर करते से जो सब केतरा सब्जेक्ट हेड्स ऑफ एक्सपेंडिचर जोड़ा जो एक्सपेंडिचर गुड़ाक आगुरी माने लैंड आमर रेवेन्यू एक्साइज जीए एक्सपेंडिचर गुड़ाक जोड़ा सेंट्रल लेवल होता है आफ्टर 1858 दे ग्रेजुअली शिफ्टेड टू द प्रोविंशियल लेवल ठीक अच्छे तो तो এটা ହେଲା তারপর নেক্সট লোকাল লেভেল কোন হলা এস্টাব্লিশমেন্ট অফ দ ডিস্ট্রিক্ট বোর্ডস এন্ড দ म्युनिसिपालिटीज ओके देन এটা তুমি লিখি পারিবো কি লর্ড রিপন তাଙ୍କର 1882 রিজোলুশন রে মানে দে laid down a policy of administrating the local governance so the non government officials ঠিক আছে non government official को भी local governance रे allow करा हितला ठीक আছে तो इधर पॉइंट मोस्टली इंपोर्टेंट देन आई मीन सेंट्रल लेवल ले पढ़ले प्रोविंशियल लेवल ले पढ़ले लोकल गवर्नमेंट लेवल ले पढ़ले देन at the level of public service रे दीटा इंपोर्टेंट पॉइंट अछि there was indianization of public service although there was indianization of public service but the age of public service what you all have written gradually it was reduced to from 23 to 19 okay ये दीटा इंपोर्टेंट जिंस रहिला level of public service okay then policy towards the princely state this is very important the 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 you can say the harsh policy of the British towards the princely states that was abolished and British turned a friendly outlook British gave turned a friendly outlook to the princely states jamindars landlords all these things and you can say the doctrine of lapse was abolished and what important is I think none of you have written the right to adopt the sons as legal heir it was approved okay तो आगुर जोटा है नथला बहुत गुड़ा प्रिंसली स्टेट को समाने डॉक्ट्राइन ऑफ लैप्स नहीं येतले बट आफ्टर 1858 it was established it was approved by the British that they can adopt sons as their legal heirs okay then जोड़ा कहली ब्रिटिश टर्न फ्रेंडशिप to the most reactionary group of the struggle you can say the princely state the landlords the zamindars all these things okay then next is about the military okay military although the ratio of Indian soldiers to British soldiers in the military was increased but the overall control was with the British okay armory was in the hands of the British okay then policy towards yes you can say that the reorganization of army okay but then next is policy towards the social reformers okay British gradually abandoned their policy of supporting the social reformers they did not support the social reformers anymore kahin na semana habili it was it was like reactionary approach to support the social reformers and you can see it was like a boomerang okay so they abandoned their policy to the social reformers and they abandoned their policy of supporting social reformers and did not interfere with the religious affairs okay then ଆଉ କିଛି ତମେ ଲେଖିପାରିବ କି yes Hindu Muslim divide they continued divide and rule okay and very important thing tome likhi paribo ki they gradually British turned towards some very hostile and draconian act like vernacular press act सेटा भी लिखि परिबो कि 1858 ପରେ they gradually started implementing some harsh and draconian act like vernacular press act to curb the press freedom so this is all about the changes in the various spheres of the British and बहुत पिला किछि किछि लिखिजो mainly you have focused on administrative aspect central level provincial level local level and एई जिंस वडा बहुत नेग्लेक्ट करछो but you have to write these things okay काहे ना it was 250 mark question overall approach तुमको आने पड़ो क्वेश्चन ठीक अछि okay so question number 2 we have to don't write causes of 1857 revolt question पचारेनी cause लिखिया पई तो better not to write not to waste time on writing the causes and other things about the revolt conclusion जहाँ भी लिखि परिबो although British did not follow the earlier approach of you can say also British abandoned the expansionist approach that was followed before 1857 revolt. But in many ways, you can say by sorry immediate reform. I could not get you what you are asking. Okay, you can write that although British abandoned their policy of expansionist policy after 1857, but it was a new form of colonialism that established by promoting the modern education, giving support to middle class intelligentsia to expand their you can say the desired policy of the British. Okay, ସେମାନେ ତାପରେ କ'ଣ 1857 ପରେ ସେମାନେ କ'ଣ କଲେ ଏଜୁକେସନକୁ ପ୍ରମୋଟ କଲେ, ଇଣ୍ଟେଲିଜେନ୍ସିଆକୁ ସପୋର୍ଟ କଲେ, ଯେମିତିକି ସେମାନଙ୍କର କଲୋନିଆଲ ଆଇଡିଓଲୋଜିଟା ସ୍ପ୍ରେଡ୍ ହେଇପାରିବ। ଠିକ ଅଛି କି ନାହିଁ? ମାନେ ଯେମିତିକି ତମେ ପଢିଥିବ କି ଦେ ଆର୍ ବାୟ କଲର ଦେ ଆର୍ ଇଣ୍ଡିଆନ୍ ବଟ୍ ବାୟ ବ୍ଲଡ୍ ଦେ ଆର୍ ୟୁରୋପିଆନ୍। Okay, like this you can conclude. Okay, fourth point. I could not exactly remember what are the fourth point. Fourth point, I think fourth point is the uh, administrative changes, provincial administration, then local bodies, then public services. Okay, fourth point is the public service. Just a minute. ठीक है, patient रहेगा तो मैं देख ले. Question number 2B. I think he was trying to ask whether we have to mention the immediate reforms after. No. Don't mention the only immediate reforms. Okay, changed and re-established. That means you have to not only write the immediate reforms, but you have to write the lasting reforms that are followed even after years. Okay, you can also write reforms and policies up to 1900. Okay. Okay, so the onset of 20th century was a watershed in the sense that the nature of India's national movement changed from middle class intelligentsia towards the masses. Okay. The core part of the question was ki how, why, what are the factors that are responsible uh, in shifting the base of national movement from middle class intelligentsia towards the masses. Okay, so sethi humko likhiar achi. And what were the events that were there in onset of the 20th century that contributed to the phenomenon. This much. Okay, so what are the basic defect that was there in the minds of you can say the lacuna that were in the minds of middle class intelligentsia, because they did not have the faith on the masses. Okay, they thought that the masses were ignorant, they had no knowledge to understand the true nature of the British rule. But actually the middle class intelligentsia, they also did not realize the true nature of the British rule. That was the failure. You can say moderates. I mean, question is moderates, na? They could not realize the true nature of the British rule. Okay, so that was the apprehensions in the minds of the middle class intelligentsia. Okay, so what are the causes? What are the causes that are responsible for this shift in the base of the national movement? Okay, first common point, economic hardship faced by the masses. So you can elaborate the point, so no need to discuss that. Economic hardship faced by the masses. Okay, then next is your the partition of Bengal, Swadeshi and boycott. Yes, economic hardship, drain of wealth, esob gote point re aସୁଛି. ठीक ଅଛି. The next is economic hardship faced by the masses. First point. Next is Swadeshi movement and the Swadeshi movement, partition of Bengal and the boycott. Okay, because Swadeshi movement ଗୋଟେ mass base ଥିଲା, that also contributed. Okay, କାହିଁକି ନା there was mobilizations, samitis, Amar Sonal Bangla, Rakhi, tying of Rakhi, all these things were there which had a mass appeal. Okay, that is second point. Third point, you can write also you can write the revival of traditional ways to reach the masses, like the festivals organized by Tilak, Ganapati festival, Shivaji festival. So these were the means, these were the revival of traditional means to reach the masses. So that was also one important factor. Then next, the rise of nationalism. Many factors contributed to the rise of nationalism. Question भी पढ़े हम discuss करिया. कहीं ना rise of nationalism, self determination, modernization, एक concept पूरा सब late 19th century ହିଁ ଆସିଲା। then এটা এটা গলা fourth point, then fifth point, establishment of Indian National Congress. Establishment of Indian National Congress, that is a very important factor in connecting the masses with the national movement. Okay, then another important factor is appearance of Gandhi in the national movement. Okay, appearance of Gandhi, his policies and principle of satyagraha, এটা গোটে point. Okay, কাହିଁକି ନା the the satyagraha was a very effective mean, if a emergence of Gandhi, satyagraha was a very effective mean to connect the masses. ঠিক আছে, and also you can write that in the Khilafat and non-cooperation movement, there is participation of virtually every section of the society: peasants, workers, students, lawyers. The Khilafat and non-cooperation movement be got a contributing factor towards connecting the masses with the freedom struggle. So these are the 7 to 8 points under which you can describe that the base of the freedom struggle shifted from middle class intelligentsia towards the masses. Okay, so all these things you can write in the answer. How come miss lagi? No. Economic hardship, partition of Bengal. हाँ, ये भी तुम लिखी परियो कि emergence of extremist leaders like Tilak, Lala Lajpat Rai, and the methods followed by them. ठीक है, partition of Bengal, Swadeshi boycott, then your rise of nationalism, emergence of Indian National Congress, appeal of Gandhiji, Khilafat and non-cooperation movement. Covered, answer covered. Okay, then next question.